Okay, we did the case that's not in the book, Annie, 30 years old, grew up in a Christian atmosphere her whole life, but now because of PTSD is saying she's basically an atheist. So some of the things we talked about was asking her when did she start thinking these things, and why did she start thinking these things. Someone mentioned in our group bringing her back to her Christian roots, and how that actually for someone in our group worked very powerfully to help them, because you can forget. Brother Doug mentioned, 2 Timothy 3:5 says that a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. And 2 Peter 2:20 again talks about denying the power of God. So she was either never saved or has completely forgotten about it, which the Bible also talks about being able to do, forgetting that you're actually saved, which I still think about and wonder how that's possible, but the Bible says it is. So we talked about bringing her back to her Christian roots, and why is she mad at God? Obviously, she's very mad at God, and a lot of people will feel like God did things to them, and that's why they're mad at him, and then explaining to her that God doesn't do those things to us. She may feel abandoned. So we know that Hebrews 13:5 says that Christ will never leave us nor forsake us. And then Jeremiah 31:3 also says that God has loved us with an everlasting love. So it's not God that has abandoned her, not God that has left her, but she, him. And then we can hopefully work on either getting her saved or getting her back to a relationship with Christ. And we also talked about, I think I said this, feeling abandoned or ashamed, and why that's not true.
We talked about Annie, and she was grew up in a Christian home, and then she decided to go serve in Iraq. And when she came back, she had PTSD, and she was telling everybody, "I'm an atheist now." When I would talk to her, one of the things I would bring her to is James 4, where it talks about wars and fightings among us. I mean, she can relate to that, having been in Iraq. And it's not saying that God's the source of these wars and fightings, it's saying it's our lusts. And in James 4:4, it says that the world is at enmity with God, or at odds with God. And one of the other people in our group mentioned Romans 1, God was revealed to man, and it's through nature and through other people that share